And we welcome you to the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. This is the final game of schedule block number 2 for my 2025-2026 season playthrough here. I'm Vinny from Vita Productions, and we have an exciting game featuring the Los Angeles Clippers and the Detroit Pistons. The Clippers will make their only appearance in schedule block number 2, while the Pistons are making their second one. They did have a watched game that ended up being corrupted game files, but they didn't beat the Cavaliers in what was supposed to be a watched game. So we look at the starting lineups for the Clippers. You got Harden, Beal, Bogdanovich, Leonard, and Zubac at center, followed by the Pistons at Cunningham, LeVert. Then you got Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. The Pistons are without Jaden Ivey still for about another 1 to 2 months with a neck vertebrae injury, while Brook Lopez is on the injured list for the second time this season, with the Clippers winning the tip. Leonard, jump shot up, that is good. Kawhi Leonard scored in the first 2 points of the game. 22.8 points a game he is averaging this season. He did have a 50-plus point game performance against the Boston Celtics in schedule block number 1. A game that they won. I see Jalen Duren as Ivica Zubac will get it for the Clippers. Harden with it. James Harden will miss that one as Cunningham will get it. As he feeds over to Harris. LeVert now has it. Finding Cunningham again here. 15 on the shot clock. 3, and that is no good. Bogdanovich with the rebound here as we are approaching 1 minute into the first quarter. See James Harden come down the post, feeding it over to Zubac, to Beal. 8 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Bradley Beal. That is no good. Jalen Duren will get the rebound here. Tobias Harris with it now. Feeds it over to Karis LeVert. Dishes it back to Harris. Back to Cunningham. Cunningham from deep 2. No good. Jalen Duren gets the offensive rebound. And we'll get the layup. And we are tied at 2. A minute and a half into the game. The Clippers are 1-1 in watched games. Those are back on schedule block number 1. As you can see, James Harden hitting the 3 there. It's a 3-point lead for the Clippers again. The Clippers are 25-12 to start off the season. 2nd in the Pacific Division and 4th in the Western Conference. While the Detroit Pistons are 19-18, though they are a lot better in real life. As you see, Kawhi Leonard will come up with a little theft there after the block. You see Bradley Beal with the bucket, and it's a 5-point lead for the Clips. Look at that big pass over to Jalen Duren as he passes it over to Cunningham. LeVert now with it, 15 on the shot clock. Jalen Duren again. Duren had close to a 30-20 in that Cavaliers game. You see Harris there with the slam dunk. Jalen Duren with the assist. I think he had like 26 points, 20-something rebounds. Close to a 30-20. You see Harden for 3. That's his second of the game. And the Clippers are up by 6 here. So we're approaching 3 minutes into the game. Stats on the road, 20.5 points a game, 7.5 assists a game. Those are road stats. You see Cunningham hits a 3-pointer himself. So the Pistons are 19-18 overall in the season. 4th in the Central Division and 7th in the Eastern Conference, which is good enough to be in the play-in tournament. See Leonard with the bucket. Bradley Beal has the assist there. Clippers 5 of 7 shooting so far early on. The Pistons 3 of 6. Harris, 14 on the shot clock. Pass it over to Jalen Duren, and he does step out of bounds. As the Clippers will get the possession again, leading him by 5. If you like what you're seeing so far, don't forget to hit that like button and also hit the subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As I said, this is the last game of schedule block number 2. Schedule block number 3, as decided, will be random games. I've already randomly selected because it's going to go up to the All-Star break, but it's going to be every 3 calendar days. And not every team is going to be guaranteed to be shown. You might see some teams on there twice. As you see, That is Asar Thompson with the dunk. And the Pistons only down by 3 here. But you see Zubats getting that big football pass. That is no good. Duran will get the rebound. And that is tipped and had hard time controlling, but Levert will gain control of it again. 12 on the shot clock. It's Cade Cunningham. 8 on the shot clock. Cunningham. That is good. See, at home, look at Cade Cunningham's stats. 24, averaging 24.4 a game, 5.7 rebounds a game. Those are here at Little Caesars Arena, though. See, Kawhi Leonard almost stepped back, almost got the half-court violation, and he's going to go to the line as Tobias Harris is called for the shooting foul. JB Bickerstaff not happy right now. Kawhi Leonard shooting 2. With the Clippers leading only by 1 right now here as we're over 5 minutes into the first quarter. Clippers did make some real-life news earlier in the morning that I'm recording this game, and that is Chris Paul released by they're parting ways as Bogdanovich is going to go to the bench. Leonard will be moving to the small forward position as Collins is going to be moving into the power forward position. Leonard shoots them both. Makes them both, I should say. I believe Chris Paul is... I usually will not do any release unless if I can figure out how to figure out the rosters. Trades I will do manually, but not release as there's a foul on the play. As you see, reach-in foul called against Kawhi Leonard. Jalen Duran back over to Tobias Harris, back over to Cunningham now. 8 on the shot clock. Cunningham coming through. Count it! James Harden this time called for the foul as Cade Cunningham will have an and one opportunity, and the Pistons trying to tie this game. It's Cade Cunningham shooting 1. And he'll drain it as we are tied at 14. Tied at 2 and tied at 14, but otherwise it's been all Clippers. Beal, and he puts the Clippers back on top by 2. Look at Bradley Beal's total season stats, averaging 17.6 points a game. Karis LeVert dishing back over to Jalen Duran. Cunningham for 3. He drains it, and Cunningham puts the Pistons on top. The Clippers will call a timeout, and so will we. 6:09 to play in the first quarter. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We are coming out of timeout here. As you can see, Detroit at 19 and 18. Look at that. Basically a virtual tie for 6th place. Right now they are technically what I saw in 7th place going into this game. Good enough again to host the playing game. Harden. You see Collins with it. Back over to Leonard. Leonard for 3. And the Clippers are on top by 2 again. Kawhi Leonard with the 3. As I said, he was a big part of that big win for the Clippers in a watch game against the Boston Celtics. They are not off to a good start. They are not having a good season right now. Cunningham for 3 off the iron. Zubats will get the rebound. Bradley Beal with it. 5:35 to play in the first quarter. The Clippers up by 2. Is he Zubats coming around? Zubats with the layup, and it's a 4-point Clipper lead again. 6 points was the largest so far here in the first quarter, as we're 5:15 to play in the first. There's an alley-oop to Cade Cunningham. No, that's to Tobias Harris. Cunningham had the assist there. That might get the Detroit Pistons bench to get on its feet for a second. Back over to Kawhi. Kawhi for 3. He drains it. Leonard, another 3-pointer for him, and it is 24-19. The Clippers on top, under 5 to play here in the first quarter. LeVert. Back over to Cunningham. 4:35 to play in the first 8 on the shot clock. Cunningham coming through. Cunningham. That is good. Cade Cunningham brings the Pistons to within 3. See Kawhi Leonard for 3. That is off the iron. Jalen Duren. The last game that the Clippers played, Kawhi Leonard had 29 points and 3 assists in a win at the Brooklyn Nets. And you see there's the Pistons right there, getting back to within 1 again. Harden for 3. He drains it again. James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, they're shooting the 3 very well so far in this first quarter. And they put the Clippers on top by 4 again. Tobias Harris. Coming through Harrison. He will go to the line as Collins is called for his first personal foul. That's the 3rd team foul called against the Clips. As Tyrone Lue not really happy with that. Harris is going to go shoot 2. Courtside Club. As we have some substitutions being made. Bradley Beal going to the bench. Chris Dunn coming into the game for the Clippers. And for the Pistons, Saucer Cunningham is going to be moving positions. I see Chris Dunn coming into the game for the Clippers. James Harden. As Cunningham does sink both of them. Harden, there's no good there. Duren will get the rebound, and Marcus Saucer, as I said, is into the game for the Pistons. Cade Cunningham has it. Dishing it back over to Harris, back to Robinson. Duncan Robinson, he loses control of it. Kawhi with the steal, passing it over to Harden. Harden is going to go to the line as he is fouled by Jalen Duren. That's Duren's first personal foul. We talked about it in the first game that we saw the Pistons in. J.B. Bickerstaff did a really great job of getting the Pistons to the playoffs last season after winning only 18 games the season before he came to 48 games. 30-win improvement, got him the 6th seed. Took the Knicks to 6 games. As we have more substitutions coming in now. Kawhi Leonard's going to take a seat. Beal moved to the small forward position here. We got Jones Jr. into the game now. As Harden did make the first one. And he makes the second one. Here in the season playthrough, they're only a game above 500, and they are in the play-in position. But in real life, I'm telling you right now, the Pistons are a lot better. You see Robinson for 3. He drains it. Duncan Robinson. 3-pointer there. It's back to a 1-point game again. Done with it. Over to James Harden. Harden. There's Jones Jr. for 3. That is off the back iron. Cunningham will get the rebound. Saucer with it. Back over to Tobias Harris. Beal with it. And with the rebound here. 2 to play. See Chris Dunn for 3. That is off the iron, I should say. Jalen Duren with the rebound. I keep saying island. I said that in one of the broadcasts that I've done. You see Tobias Harris. That shot is off, no good. Collins will get the rebound. You see there's a bucket. James Harden. 22.3 points a game. This is a 3-point lead again. Saucer coming with the layup. That is good. Pistons within 1 as we are under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Bradley Beal. And that is good. It's a 3-point lead again. Bradley Beal with 6 points and 2 assists there in this first quarter. 47 seconds left until the end of the first quarter. Robinson for three. He drains it, and we are tied at 33. I believe that is the third tie in this game. We only had 2 lead changes. 14 on the shot clock. 32 left to play in the first. Collins for three. That is off the back iron, and Cunningham will get the rebound. Shot clock still on as you see the Pistons out rebounding the Clippers 10-5 right now. Tied at 33. Tobias Harris. 10 on the shot clock. Passing it back over to Cunningham. Cunningham dishes it over to Robinson. Robinson for three. That is off the iron. Beal with the rebound. 4 on the game clock. Beal will have a three to end the quarter. He misses it. And that will do it for the first 12 minutes of this game. At the end of one, we are tied at 33. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Back here in downtown Detroit, we're starting the second quarter all tied at 33. Saucer gets the inbound for the Pistons here. Looking to try to give them the lead for the first time in this game. Lanier. And it's 35-33 Pistons. They're on top again for the second time in this game. They led by 1 earlier in the halfway through the first quarter. Now it's their largest lead at 2. And look at that. There's a block. Lanier with the block. Just had the points earlier. Chris Paul into the game now. As I said, Paul, the aforementioned Paul, has been released in real life by the Clippers, but I do not do manual releases in this game. Trades, I'll do. Lanier for three. That is no good. Holland will get the offensive rebound. Robinson for three. He drains it. It's a 5-point lead for the Pistons now. 1 minute into the second quarter. Collins with it. Chris Paul has it, as I said. Back over to Collins. Collins for three. That is off the back iron. Robinson will get the rebound. Pistons out rebounding the Clippers 13-6. Holland has it. Back over to Robinson. Robinson for three. He drains it again. Robinson, and the Pistons up by 8. Chris Paul has it for the Clips. Back over to Bradley Beal. Paul with it. Paul for three. He drains it. Chris Paul with his first 3 points of the game, and the Clippers back to within 5. Saucer with it. Dishing it over to Stewart. Over to Lanier. Lanier with the layup attempt. He gets that one. And the Pistons up by 7. Dunn over to Collins. Back over to Chris Paul. And there's a slam dunk alley-oop. Paul to John Collins. Collins had 13 points and 12 rebounds in a win against the Brooklyn Nets in their last game. And we have a timeout called by the Pistons. They're up by 5. We're going to take a timeout. 9:22 to play in the second. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We are back here in Detroit coming out of the timeout here. 43-38 Pistons on top. 9:22 to play in the second quarter. So we got substitutions for both teams. See Cunningham, LeVert. We're seeing most of the starting lineups coming out for some of the teams. Robinson's still in off the bench. You see Cunningham with it. Stewart will also take the inbound. Thompson into the game. Robinson, that was missed there, and that's a steal by Bradley Beal. Asar Thompson to Chris Paul now with it. And the purposes of this season playthrough, he's still on the Clippers, and we know in real life he's been released. Bogdanovich for three. That is off the back iron. Stewart will get the rebound. LeVert with it on the other end of the court for the Pistons. Driving through, and that will not go in as Bradley Beal called for the foul. However, Karis LeVert is going to go to the line shooting 2. Pistons leading it by 5. They led by as many as 8 points early in the second quarter. They have not trailed in the second quarter. Trailed throughout most of the first quarter, but they were able to tie it. As LeVert will hit the first one. James Harden coming back into the game. As Chris Paul going to take a seat. Both teams are 1-1 in watched games, so both teams are looking to avoid a losing record and have a winning record in a watched game. And they hit the second one here. I can tell you that both teams will be featured once in schedule block number 3. As these are random games, as I say. See Bradley Beal for 3. He drains it. Bradley Beal had 6 points in that first quarter. Make that 9 after that 3-point. Thompson has it. Back over to Robinson. It's a 4-point lead for the Pistons right here. 7 on the shot clock. Cunningham for 3. Off the back iron. No good. Bogdanovich with the rebound. James Harden. Back over to Bradley Beal. Over to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich shooting for 3. That is off the iron. Caris LeVert grabbing the rebound. Robinson for 3. That is off the back iron. Thompson will get the rebound. Transitions back to Robinson. And Robinson with the 3-pointer. He has 15 points in this game. 9 in this quarter. And the Pistons are on top by 7 again. Led by as many as 8. Jones Jr. Deep shot. Good. Jones Jr. with it. It's 48-43. Stewart for the Pistons with it. Dishing it back over to Thompson here. 15 on the shot clock to Cunningham. Over to LeVert. LeVert for 3. Off the iron. Bogdanovich will get the rebound. James Harden. And he's going to go to the line as Cade Cunningham called for his first personal foul. Tyronn Lue. Looking like what's going on, but you know your team is going to go to the line here. James Harden. Again, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe as well as hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. You see Harden will hit the first one. Jones Jr. going to the bench. Nicholas Batum. I have not called his name that much in any of the games. There may have been one game where he played for a couple of minutes, but then one of the other games he did not play as Harden hits them both. Pistons lead only down to 3. I do college football content here, and speaking of college football 26 content, tonight will be the final simulation game of my conference championship week, and that will feature... You see Thompson, that was Cunningham with the dunk. Cade Cunningham, 15 points. As I mentioned, the college football 26 content that'll be out tonight will be the final simulation game for conference championship week. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern. That is the Big Ten championship game. Number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Indiana Hoosiers from Indianapolis. I'm sure in real life, as you can see, the Hoosiers having their best season ever. Cunningham for 3. He drains it. And the Pistons match their largest lead with 8 points. Yeah, the Hoosiers had their best 2-year stretch. They went 11-2 last year. They are 12-0 this year. 23-2 under Kurt Zanetti. And they're in the Big Ten championship game for the first time. Cunningham again. Another 3 for him. And the Pistons are now on top by 11. Bogdanovich. Coming around, Bogdanovich with the bucket, and that is good. That puts an end to the bleeding just for a second. Clippers within 9 again. Caris LeVert. Cunningham has been on fire. Cunningham continues to be on fire. Another bucket for him, and the Pistons on top by 11 again. Matching their largest lead, as I keep saying. 5 minutes to play until halftime. Harden for three off the iron. Jalen Duren will get the rebound. Back over to Asar Thompson. Asar Thompson layup is good. It's a 13-point lead for the Pistons now. But as I said, though, for that Big Ten championship game, that's going to be huge in real life coming up on Saturday. Harden for three. That is no good. Asar Thompson will get the rebound. James Harden had 20 points and 9 assists in the win against the Nets in their last game. Jalen Duren with a dunk. It's a 15-point Piston lead. Timeout, Clippers. 4:28 to play in the second. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in Detroit. 62-47, the Pistons on top. 4:28 to play until halftime. The Clippers dominated most of that first quarter, but the Pistons have been hot since the tail end of that first quarter and have not looked back here in the second quarter. They're up by 15. Leonard for three. That's in. Or no, they said he was on inside, so that's two-pointer there. Clippers within 13. Got Asar Thompson for the Pistons. Harris for three. That is off the back iron, no good. Collins with the rebound. James Harden over to Collins, and Collins with a dunk. John Collins with the slam dunk, and the Pistons are within 11. LeVert dishing over to Thompson. Thompson for three. Off the iron. Kawhi Leonard will get it. Allie LaForce reporting, but you can't hear her because you're stuck hearing me. Over to Chris Dunn. Back over to Kawhi Leonard. Leonard with a chance to cut it to single digits. Leonard gets that layup. That is off the back iron. Cunningham will get the rebound. Pass over to Thompson. Thompson coming through with the layup. That is good. .13 lead again for the Pistons. They led by as many as 15. Kawhi with Leonard with it. As we're 2:45 to play in the second quarter. 8 on the shot clock. Bogdanovich for three. Off the back iron. When I say island, I meant to say iron. Jalen Duren gets a rebound. Cunningham with it. 15 on the shot clock. Thompson for three. That is off the back iron. Bogdanovich with the rebound. As the Clippers are going the other way. Chris Dunn. Back over to Bogdanovich. Feeds Harden. Harden will take the shot. No good. Asar Thompson. Harden 5 points and 1 steal so far in this game as we are approaching 2 minutes to play until the halftime. LeVert for three. He drains it. And the Pistons now with their largest lead, up by 16. 1:46 to play until halftime. Over to John Collins, and Collins with the layup. See Cade Cunningham crossing the half court. A minute 30 to play in the second quarter. Cunningham. 10 on the shot clock. And there is a reach-in foul called against Kawhi Leonard. That's his second. Cunningham had 29 points and 10 rebounds in the win against the Chicago Bulls in their last game. Bradley Beal into the game. Lee Zubats also. LeVert for three. That is off the iron. Zubats will get that rebound there for Kawhi Leonard now. Leonard over to Zubac. Back over to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich. That is no good. Harris will get the rebound. Cunningham. There's a bucket for Cade Cunningham. And the Pistons on top by 16 again. Cunningham, 25 points and 4 rebounds. He's having himself a first half, taking over this game for the Pistons. On the shot clock. Leonard with it. He's going to take the shot. That is no good. Jalen Duren will get the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Cade Cunningham. 6 on the shot clock. Cunningham back to Jalen Duren. Duren. That is no good. And that will do it for the first half. Detroit Pistons outscore the Clippers 36-20. They take a 16-point lead going to halftime. That's where we're heading to the halftime report. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Getting ready to start the third quarter here at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The Pistons leading at 69-53. As I mentioned, they outscored the Clippers 36-20 in that second quarter. They were tied at 33 going to the end of the first quarter. As Jalen Duren, inbounds into Cade Cunningham here. Starting 5 should be out for both teams here. So you got Cunningham, LeVert, Duren, Thompson, and Harris for sure. You see Cunningham holding on to it right now. Passing over to Thompson. Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Zubats, Harden. Bogdanovich, I know, is out into the game. Beal and Leonard. So, yeah, starting 5 for both teams. 8 on the shot clock. Bradley Beal coming around. That is no good. Jalen Duren will grab the rebound. Cunningham with it. Back over to Karis LeVert. LeVert to Cade Cunningham. 13 on the shot clock. And there is a blocking foul called against Kawhi Leonard. That's his third. He's in a little bit of foul trouble right now. He's halfway until he's disqualified for the rest of the game. Karis LeVert on the shot clock. Back over to Asar Thompson for 3. Off the back iron. Zubats getting the rebound. Bogdanovich has to get it back over to Beal. Bradley Beal. That shot is no good. Karis LeVert will get the rebound for the Pistons here. Nobody has scored yet in the first minute 20 seconds here in the third quarter. Harris denied. I believe that was Zubats with the block there. As you see the Clippers controlling it again. Over to Kawhi Leonard. Bradley Beal for 3. He drains it. First point scored by any team here in the third quarter. Bradley Beal had 9 points in that first half. He's now in double figures with that 3. Clippers within 13 as we're approaching 2 minutes into the third quarter. Harris for 3. That is off the back iron. Jalen Duren will get the rebound. He dishes over to LeVert here. 8 on the shot clock. LeVert, deep 2. Off the back iron. Zubats getting the rebound. He had a rebound and a block so far. And there's a steal by Tobias Harris. As you see, LeVert, 5 points, 1 of 3 from the field. He had 2 free throws in the game. Cunningham, 25-point first half. Hasn't gotten any yet. Tobias Harris for 3, and he drains it. The lead back up to 16 for the Pistons, their largest, matching their largest. Kawhi Leonard to James Harden. That is off the back iron, and Jalen Duren will grab the rebound for the Pistons. Harden 15 points, 1 steal. Cade Cunningham with a bucket. And the Pistons now lead by 18. Their new largest lead of the game. You see 10 on the shot clock, 8 on the shot clock. We're back over to Bradley Beal. Beal, 2 on the shot clock. Leonard for 3. That is off the iron. LeVert will get the rebound. Over now, Duren. Jalen Duren with the jam. Duren now has 6 points in this game, and the Pistons are on top by 20. Jalen Duren still having a decent game as far as crashing the boards, but the point-wise, he's not doing as well as he did in the corrupted file watched game. Bogdanovich for 3. That is off the iron. As I said, Jalen Duren knows how to crash the boards. His team up by 20. He's still looking like this game is tied. Or they're holding on to only a slim lead. Cunningham for 3. He nails it. 23-point lead now for the Pistons. Timeout Clippers. 7:43 to play in the third. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we look at the dunk contest race here. You see both the Thompson brothers are in line to be participating in it. Ahmed and Asar Thompson. As we're back out of the break with the Pistons leading it by 23 right now. This is the final game of schedule block number 2. As I said, I have the matches determined already for schedule block number 3. You'll see maybe 3 or 4 repeat teams, but not every team is going to be shown. As you see, Kawhi Leonard with the bucket. James Harden there with the assist there. And my policy is I'm going to try to have every team with a winning record, maybe 500. If you're within above 500 at the time that I did this, I see Cade Cunningham with the slam dunk, 32 points for him in this game. At the time that I looked at it, there are some teams that are like above 500 or at 500 right now that could be below, depending on how the post-game ticker goes. As you see, the Clippers making a bucket again. They're only within 21 now. 6:43 to play in the third. 81-60. Pistons on top. Cunningham. And he's fouled, and that's James Harden's second. Cade Cunningham shooting 2. But if you're like way clearly below 500, like the Miami Heat and the Utah Jazz, you're not getting in this schedule block number 3. I can tell you that right now. We will not see the Jazz in schedule block number 3. Cunningham will miss the first one. And then we'll have the All-Star break. We'll have the Rising Stars as well as the skills competition, and then the All-Star game itself. Schedule block number 4, though, you either have to be in a playoff spot or within 2 games of a play-in spot to be featured on there until I get to the final month of the season, and it's just going to be winning teams. Leonard for 3. That is good. Only a 20-point game again. Cunningham. And he's going to go to the line as Harden's called for his third personal. Both he and Kawhi are at 3 now. And we're just a little bit shy of the halfway point of the third quarter. Cade Cunningham back to the line again. Look at the scoring breakdown. Look at that, points in the paint, 40. And 53 of those 53 points off of assists, as you see Cunningham making the first one. So 53 of the 83 points have come off of assists. So that tells you they passing the ball very well in this game. And then they also dominate on the inside. Cunningham makes them both, and it's a 22-point lead again for the Pistons. They're led by as many as 23. Leonard for three. That is off the back iron, but look at Zubats getting the put in off the offensive rebound. Clippers once again within 20. Jalen Duren back over to Tobias Harris. Harris, jumper, no good. Bradley Beal with the rebound. Tobias Harris, 11 points and 3 assists on 4-10 shooting for the Pistons tonight. His team up by 20 points under 5.5 to play in the third. Beal with it. 5 on the shot clock. Beal for three. That is no good. Jalen Duren will get the rebound. Cunningham now has it, crossing the half-court line, dishing it over to Duren. Jalen Duren coming around with a slam dunk. Jalen Duren has 8 points. And another timeout by the Clippers. 4:53 to play in the third. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions, and we are going to take a timeout. Back here from the timeout here in Detroit. The Pistons leading it by 22 points here. 4:53 to play in the third. See Coach Tyronn Lue not really happy right now with this team's performance since that first quarter, since the end of the first quarter. Zubats will inbound it over to James Harden, who has 3 fouls in this game. John Collins back into the game. Beal with it for three. Harris with the rebound. Look at that. Pistons out-rebounding the Clippers 33-19. As you see, Jalen Duren, he's in double figures now. He should probably have a double-double in this game. Probably not a 20-20, though. Kawhi Leonard. Back over to Bradley Beal. Back to Harden. James Harden with the dunk. Beal will get the assist there. So 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. 88-66. And there, Harris for three. Or no, for two. That was a deep two. My fault there. 24-point lead. That does match the largest lead. As the Pistons did have that lead up to 24 before that Harden dunk the last time around. Leonard, that is a miss. Asar Thompson with the dunk. Over to Harris. Harris, he misses that one. John Collins will get the rebound. Bradley Beal. Back over to Kawhi Leonard. Leonard coming around with the layup attempt. That is good. Kawhi Leonard brings the Clippers to within 22. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Caris LeVert positioned over to Duncan Robinson. Robinson had himself a really good game so far off the bench. He does miss that one as James Harden has it for the Clips. Kawhi Leonard over to Zubats. Zubats to Harden. Harden for three. That is off the iron, no good. The Pistons, I believe, are playing their 9th season. And see Jalen Duren with the dunk. And the Pistons are back on top by 24, or back up by 24. But the Pistons are playing their 9th season in Little Caesars Palace, as there's a three-pointer there by James Harden, and the lead is only to 21 again. Yeah, 9th season in Little Caesars Palace. They moved in 2017 with the Detroit Red Wings. Robinson for three off the iron, no good. And for the Pistons, they now play in downtown Detroit after playing years where they were miles away from downtown Detroit. They played for a while in the Silver Dome. As you see, shot that is good by Kawhi Leonard. Cuts the lead to 19. We're going to take a timeout as well. 1:39 to play in the third. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. Coming out of the timeout here, as I was mentioning here, as I said, the Pistons playing in their 9th season at Little Caesars Arena. In the downtown Detroit, after playing for years, miles away from downtown Detroit. They played at the Silver Dome to start off their existence. Then they And then they played for a while at the Palace of Auburn Hills. And then they left after the 2016-2017 season to go to the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit to join the Red Wings. The Lions for a while played at the Silverdome in Pontiac, as that's now only a 16-point game now. John Collins and the Clippers on a 12-4 run in the last 6.5 minutes. It was a 24-point lead. Now it's only 16. Cunningham coming through. He misses that. He gets an offensive rebound and a slam dunk as we are 46.3 left in the third quarter. And then the Clippers in their second season have their own home as well. Beal for three. That is off the iron. No good. And we'll finally get a chance to see it in a watch game in Intuit Dome. Every game they have played has been on the road. Holland with the team up by 18. The Pistons up by 18. Saucer, jump shot, no good. Collins with the rebound. Paul with it. Back over to Bradley Beal. Beal. Pass it over to Jones Jr. Jones Jr. And it's a 16-point lead for the clip joint. Or no, for the Pistons. What am I talking about? Clip joint within 16. Cunningham. And that is no good. I don't think it would have counted anyway here. They led by as many as 24, but it's only a 16-point lead now for the Pistons at the end of 3. We'll be back to start the fourth. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Get ready to start the fourth quarter here. We have the State Farm assist of the game. That goes to Cade Cunningham on an alley-oop to Tobias Harris. As the Clippers will inbound it, trailing by 16. They trailed by as many as 24 in that third quarter. Bogdanovich with it for three. That is off. Holland with it. Harden, Dunn, Collins, Bogdanovich, and Jones Jr. in the lineup for the Clippers to start off the fourth quarter. Stewart over to Holland. Holland for three. That is off the back iron. Collins will have it. James Harden with it. Back to Bogdanovich for three. That is a loose ball foul called against Jones Jr. Since they were on the offensive end with the shot, that is not going to be a team foul, but he still gets called for the personal, though. Cunningham with it. And that is no good. Collins will get the rebound. Bogdanovich, layup, good. Clippers within 14. See Saucer there. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham for three, no good. Jones Jr. Is it over for Bogdanovich? That's out of bounds. Looking at the Pistons' upcoming schedule, 4 games, Suns, Pacers, and Celtics at home, and then they're on the road at the Pelicans. So there's going to be some home cooking for the Detroit Pistons starting off with this game. As a timeout called by the Pistons here. 10:36 to play in the fourth. They're up by 14. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in Detroit here. As I said, 10:36 to play in the fourth quarter. Pistons leading it by 14. It was 24-point lead in the third quarter, but the Clippers are trying to find their way back into this game. As the Holland going to inbound it, Stewart has it. Back over to Saucer. Back to Holland. Over to Cade Cunningham. 8 on the shot clock. Holland for three. That is off the iron. Dunn will have the rebound. No points for the Pistons in the last 2.5 minutes. And that is stemming from the end of the third quarter. Harden with it. 7 on the shot clock. Harden still has it. He's going to come around with the layup, and that is good. It's a 12-point lead now for the Pistons. Stewart. And that's good, and the Pistons on top by 14 again. They really needed that bucket here. That ended a little bit near, close to a 3-minute drought. Harden for three. That is off the iron. Holland will get the rebound. Robinson. Back over to Cunningham here. Stewart passing over to Saucer. Cunningham with it. 8 on the shot clock. Cunningham. Over to Stewart. Stewart with a dunk. And the Pistons building the lead back up to 16. Clippers had it to within 12 just a couple of seconds ago. 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 98-82. Pistons on top. They have not trailed since the first quarter. Harden coming around. Over to Jones Jr. for three. He drains it. Clippers within 13 here. 8:36 to play. Cunningham. Coming around, and he's been denied. As the Clippers will control it. Harden with it. Back over to Chris Dunn. Dunn to Collins. Collins, that bucket is no good. Duncan Robinson will get the rebound here. 8 minutes to play. Looking at the rebounds, 40-29 in favor of the Pistons as Cade Cunningham for three. Building it back up to 16, and the Pistons hit the century mark in this game. Harden holding on to it right now. Dunn for three. Off the iron. Holland with the rebound. Over to Saucer. Back over to Stewart. Stewart. Back to Robinson. Cunningham to Stewart. Robinson for three. He nails it. And Duncan Robinson puts the Pistons on top by 19. Looks like the Pistons are not playing games anymore. Harden, back to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich for three, off the iron. Holland will get the rebound. 6:50 to play here in the fourth. 104-85. Stewart for three. He nails it. And the Pistons have built that lead back up to 22. 6.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Bogdanovich with it. Passing back over to Dunn here. 10 on the shot clock. Trailing by 22. There's a jumper. That is no good. Stewart gets the rebound. Holland has it for the Pistons. Back over to Saucer. Back to Cunningham. Cunningham. Over to Stewart. Stewart with the layup. That is good. Detroit Pistons up by 24, their largest lead of the game. Or tie for the largest lead. 5:50 to play here in the fourth. Bogdanovich holding on to it. 18 on the shot clock. Back to Jones Jr. Over to Collins. 9 on the shot clock. Over to Harden. Harden. That is no good. Holland with the rebound. Robinson for three. He nails it. Largest lead of the game is 27. And very quickly the Pistons have been able to counteract whatever run the Clippers have tried to pull up. As you see James Harden there with that bucket. He has 24 in this game. And they're within 25. Cunningham. That is off the iron. Harden will have the rebound. Cade Cunningham, 40 points in this game on 15-24 shooting. Quite a performance for him. Harden on the Passing back over to Collins. Collins deep two. No good. Duncan Robinson with the rebound. Tell you, Robinson's had a good game off the bench. Talk about Cunningham's 40-point performance, but you want to talk about somebody off the bench has had a game. You see Stewart coming around. And the Pistons lead back up to 27 here as we are 4 minutes left to play. See Jamie Harden with it. 8 on the shot clock. 4, 3. Bogdanovich for 3. Off the iron. James Stewart with it. Saucer passing back over to Robinson. Robinson to Holland. Holland's going to go to the line as Jones Jr. called for his second personal foul. That's the first team foul called against the Clippers. Holland going to the line, taking 2. Makes the first one, and that is now the largest lead of the game for the Pistons. So we got substitutions coming in, I believe. No, we're actually seeing some starters coming back in for the Clippers, and let's see here. Even with this lineup, up by 29 with 3.5 to play. Starters for both teams out on there. Okay. Kawhi Leonard. That's back over to Bradley Beal. Back to Kawhi Leonard. Harden for 3. That is no good. Thompson with it. Do want to remind everybody that once this game is over with, we are not done yet. You can see Holland with a dunk, and it's a 31-point lead for the Pistons. Oh, how things have changed. Clippers are having a little bit of momentum. They cut it to within 12 after being down by 24 in the third quarter. Now it's been a big run. It's a 31-point lead for the Pistons, and could be going up by even more here. Cade Cunningham. Cunningham with it. There's a shot up. That is no good. Kawhi Leonard will come down with the rebound. 2.5 to play in the fourth quarter. It is 118-87. Pistons on top. Leonard for 3. That is off the iron. Jalen Duren will get the rebound. See Holland with it. Back over to Cunningham here. 10 on the shot clock. Holland for 3. Off the iron. Zubats will get the rebound here. And it looks like it's going to be academic here. Leonard with it. 29-point lead again for the Pistons here. The Pistons look like they're about to get win number 20 on the season. Cunningham coming through, and that is off the iron. Harden with the rebound. Bogdanovich with it. Beal. They see Bradley Beal. That's 3 is good. 26-point lead for the Pistons. I mean, as I said, there's no way they're coming back in this game. Who knows? Asar Thompson. See some of the fans over here that are sitting on courtside really excited. Their hometown Pistons are going to come away with the victory. Cunningham. There's a bucket right there. 42 points for Cade Cunningham. Great performance by him. But as a team, you see the Beat LA chants. Made famous by the Boston Celtics during those NBA Final series with the Los Angeles Lakers. Giants fans also use that when they play the Los Angeles Dodgers at Oracle Park. As you see the slam dunk, it's a 30-point lead. As we're down to the final seconds here. A big win for the Detroit Pistons. Capped off by a 42-point effort by Cade Cunningham, and that will do it. Detroit will get win number 20 in convincing fashion. They win 122-92. The Clippers fall to 25-13. But stay tuned, everybody. We are not done yet. We still have stats, post-game ticker, and injury report to go through. It is now time to look at the statistics for the players for this game. And we start off with the victorious Detroit Pistons. The Cade Cunningham, 42 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, double-double for him. Duncan Robinson, 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. As I said, he had a great game off the bench. Jalen Duren, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, a double-double for him. Tobias Harris, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Isaiah Stewart, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Asar Thompson, look at that. He had a double of a game. 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Caris LeVert, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Ron Holland, 4 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Chaz Lanier had 4 points, 1 rebound, and a block. Marcus Sasser, 2 points and 2 assists. Then you got Dennis Jenkins, Colby Jones, Bobby Klitman, Paul Reed, Javonte Green. I wonder if he's related to Draymond Green. He kind of looks like him in that picture. And now for the Los Angeles Clippers, you have Kawhi Leonard, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. James Harden, 24 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, and 1 steal. Bradley Beal, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. John Collins off the bench, 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. Derek Jones Jr., 7 points, 3 rebounds. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists in the game. As you probably heard a train go by. Ivica Zubac, 4 points, 10 rebounds, and assists, and a block. Chris Paul, as I said, for purposes of the season playthrough, he's still going to remain a Clipper. He has 3 points and 1 assist. He had 3 points, 1 assist in the game. Chris Dunn, a starter, or no, he came off the bench actually. No points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and a block. Nicholas Batum, no stats at all in 3 minutes of play. Then we had Cam Christie, Kobe Brown, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, Trenton Flowers, and Jordan Miller did not play for the Los Angeles Clippers in this game. And that is it for your player statistics for this game. It is now time for the post-game ticker brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off with the remaining games played on Saturday, January 10, 2026. And this, by the way, is going to be an extended one, as I'm going to be doing 3 days between games every day now until the All-Star break. So starting off, we had the Timberwolves 135-99 winners over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pacers 127-93 winners of the Miami Heat. Game that we just watched, the Pistons, starting from the second quarter on, dominate the Clippers 122-92. The Celtics upset the San Antonio Spurs 112-103. The Mavericks 123-115 winners over the Chicago Bulls. And look at this. For the first time since November 13th on the season playthrough schedule, took them between November 13th to January 10th between wins. The Jazz end a 25-game losing streak. They get their 3rd win of the season. 121-101 winners over the Charlotte Hornets. And now for Sunday, January 11, 2025. We got the Orlando Magic 129-102 winners over the Pelicans. The Nets get their 10th win of the season, 127-111 winners over the Memphis Grizzlies. The Knicks reached the 30-win column, 98-92 winners over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Sixers edge out the Raptors 111-110 in north of the border. Spurs 122, Timberwolves 119. The Thunder 133-118 winners over the Miami Heat. The Nuggets get their 25th win of the season, 121-103 winners over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Wizards 116-109 winners over the Phoenix Suns. And the Warriors 123, the Hawks 106, and the Rockets 109, the Kings 105. So there will be no beam lit once again. Now for Monday, January 12, 2026. As I said, these are going to be extended post-game tickers now. Break up the Jazz, everybody. They've now won 2 in a row. 111-106 winners over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pacers 137, Celtics 118. The Raptors 136 and the 76ers 100. The Mavericks 114, Nets 103. The Lakers 112 and the Kings 94. Once again, no beam has been lit in Sacramento for a while. Then we have the Clippers 114 and the Hornets 103. And that is your post-game ticker. As my buddy RJL Network would say, if your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. Now time to look at the most updated injury report. We got Andre Drummond still out for the 76ers. The Bucks and the Bulls completely healthy. Jared Allen and Max Struss still out for the Cavaliers. Jason Tatum, 2 to 4 months. I don't know if the Celtics were good and they were closing in on a postseason berth or en route for a postseason berth at this time. I say this would be huge for them to get him back, but don't think it's going to really matter. Brook Lopez still out for the Clippers. Memphis Grizzlies fully healthy. Same with the Hawks. The Heat, no injuries, but they do include suspensions. Of course, we know why Rozier was suspended indefinitely. LaMelo Ball still out for the Hornets. The Jazz fully healthy. Maxime Renaud and Domantas Sabonis out for the Kings. OG Anunoby out for the Lakers. Dalton Knecht out for the Lakers. Wendell Carter Jr. and Jalen Suggs still out for the Magic. Derek Lively, once again, is out for the Mavericks, and Anthony Davis is still out for the Mavs as well. Nets are still without Terrence Mann and Michael Porter Jr. Peyton Watson still out, but Aaron Gordon is day-to-day now recovering, and Nikola Jokic has overcome the flu. Halliburton, we know his injury. Pelicans are fully healthy. We know about Jaden Ivey being out. I mean, now his is just weeks and not months. Jakob Poeltl still out for the Raptors. Van Vliet, we already know his injury. Devin Vassell is now considered recovering day to day. He's soon set to come back, and we're going to be seeing them at least once in the schedule block number 3. I can tell you that right now. Suns fully healthy. Thunder still without Williams and Hartenstein, and SGA also out. Now that's going to be an interesting lineup to see when we see the Thunder again. Julius Randle, Anthony is back out. Anthony Edwards is out. And Joe Ingles now out for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Damian Lillard out for the Blazers. Brandon Buzymski still out for the Warriors. And Cam Whitmore still out for the Wiz. And that is it for your injury report for the games played after Monday, January 12, 2026. Game will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, where we have the San Antonio Spurs at the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs, as we start schedule block number 3, the Spurs at 22-17, and the Thunder, the league's best record at 34-6, the defending NBA champions in real life, are proving why they are the defending NBA champions. They are 34-6 as the calendar now flips to January 13th, 2026. For now on, as I said, we're going to be doing one game for every 3 days up until the All-Star break. As I said, these are random games. However, not every team is going to be guaranteed to be shown once. And I try to get teams that are hovering within the 500 mark at the time that I did this. Of course, how the ticker goes, somebody could go on a losing streak, and if they were hovering or just barely above 500, they're back to being below 500. If they were around 500 on the winning streak, they're a lot better than they are than when I chose them at the beginning. So that is it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you are new. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. Reminder also, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, the final college football 26 simulation for a conference championship week. We head to Indianapolis, where the Indiana Hoosiers and the Ohio State Buckeyes, a matchup between number 1 and number 2. I guarantee you one of those two teams will not be in that position. They might fall a little bit because somebody has to lose that game, unfortunately. But I think that's going to be a cinema game, both in the simulation and in real life on Saturday. And with that, remind you guys, the final score, the Detroit Pistons, all over the Clippers, 122-92, behind a 42-point performance by Cade Cunningham. I am Vinny from Beat Up Productions, and I am signing off.